Good morning, everybody. We are back after a day off yesterday. Feels great.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't really a day off. It was more like we were just offsetting the amount of time we were going to spend watching the Tesla earnings and stuff later in the day. So we just kind of gave ourselves a little bit of a break from the morning show. Plus, we just had the
Yeah.
Trivert show the night before, and there wasn't really much new to
Yeah.
say.
Yeah, there's nothing that changed. Everything that was said was said. I said it probably could get lower. It did. And then Tracker said it's going to go higher, and it did.
I know.
so we
Feel
were
good.
both
Yeah,
right. Yes.
that's right.
Mm.
Absolutely. Oh, is this my chart? Where's my chart? This is my chart. Sorry. Go ahead. Do the thing, Matt. Actually, wait. No. Let me show you my chart real quick. I
Yeah, go
just
ahead.
posted this. I just need to make this a 2 month chart. This is the TLT. Oh, I'm sorry, not TLT. This is the U.S. 10-year Treasury bond from 1913 to now. And what do you see? Well, this is what I see. I see five waves down, a long downtrend in the 10-year bond. And I just want to point out that right here is where it goes negative. So we've had as low as 0.333% for the 10-year. I'm not sure what happens when bonds go negative, but it's ahead of us, I think. So I mean, it's probably just going to look like this, where it screams down and then starts to tick back up, and then so this will be, when the 10-year bond goes down, nobody wants to buy bonds; they want to go into the market. So I posted a picture of Bane from Batman, like "Let the games begin," and this could be a big melt up in the stock market before we get a corrective wave to kind of reset bonds again, which would correspond with a bit of maybe a recession and maybe a bit of a bear market for a little while. But there you go, bear market in the stocks anyway. So yeah,
In what, 2029?
I don't know. Yeah, maybe even sooner. It does look. If I try to cross the line through the Ichimoku cloud on this 2 month, then yeah, it seems like that's like January 1st, 2027. No, 28. Yeah, let's just go like this. Oh yeah, that's 29. 2029. I don't know. It seems like it. What's this case? Williams says it's going to go even faster than that. So maybe it
Yep.
melts up like this, and then it starts to come back up into the cloud like that. I mean, of course, it can't go negative. Well, or can it? No, no, no. They remember when oil was negative, you had to pay
Oh,
to
yeah.
store oil
That was
after
like
the.
for a brief second. Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. But I guess they can. It's never happened before in the history of the 10-year. Anyway, we'll see. That could be a crazy moment in
All right.
time here as well. So let the bull market begin.
Yeah, I think so. Speaking of that, let's do the indices. And with the SPY, this is looking very bullish again, right? It's back above this is the daily chart. It's back above all the indicators on the daily chart. It is coming up a little bit higher again. And perhaps it wants to close the daily gap up here and go a little bit higher. So going to be focusing on that for the rest of the week. And it has been a challenge to break into all-time highs because it did do it right here, but then immediately kind of sold off afterwards for a quick liquidity grab. So we'll see if it can just push higher and higher to the 608, 609, 610 zone again. And QQQ, it is back above the cloud pre-market. It was a beautiful wick down to the 50-day moving average again, and yesterday even. And now we can see that maybe this is time to start to build a base on top of the daily cloud once again, now that the bottom of the cloud has been back tested twice successfully. So this has potential to recover nicely. And the IWM, is it up pre-market finally? Yes. So it's getting back above this 226.74. And you can see this 100-day moving average, the blue line here, has been maintaining support for basically the past 3 days in a row. since Monday. And even though it did wick below quite a bit yesterday, it did recover nicely, and it's gapping up this morning back above the 786. So that's really all I care about week over week is that 786. And you can see last week closed above. So if this week closes above, then I think it still has a chance to continue to build a base on top of that and go much higher. And SMH, is that going to recover? Let's see. Yeah, I mean, weekly chart, beautiful wick to the baseline and the 50 week and the top of the cloud, and pre-market it's back above the cloud. So this is looking like nothing bad has happened at all either. It's just a back test of the daily or the weekly cloud too. So this has potential for the semis to recover nicely as long as this 50 week and the top of the cloud continue to hold. So not too bad. Oh, Cantonese cat is in there. Let the bull market
I know.
begin. Yeah.
He's in the house. I was going to say. And, you know, I really should have just said, let the games begin. The bull market's been going on. You guys called that a long time ago.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's kind of like a rotation because some things exploded earlier, right? Like NVIDIA and Palantir, and now it's time for maybe Tesla and Coinbase
Crypto.
and maybe the rest. Yeah, crypto-related stuff to catch up. The only thing that exploded the most, though, is Microstrategy, which is kind of why it's been selling off, or consolidating, I should say, the most, because it already went to its full 1.618 extension.
With that said, do you want to talk about Bitcoin next?
Yeah, we can talk about Bitcoin. We'll just take a look at my Bitcoin chart. And what I'm paying attention to day over day now is this 103,611. It did close above it yesterday, and there's continuation today again. So this is resistance. This has been resistance, and we can see on this chart that there really was never any weekly candle close above it except the first time. So since then, it could not close any week above it. So this is a very important level for me to watch for the rest of the week, and I want to see it close above, right? I don't really care if it's 104, 108, whatever. I just want to see it close above this 103,611.
Yep. And thank you, CVLR, for invoking the Bane voice. I was born in darkness, molded by it. That's not the Bane voice. That's Batman. That's Batman's voice. I can't do Bane voice very well. He's got that accent. Let's see. Yeah, so I basically see it's time for Tesla and Bitcoin and Coinbase and Microstrategy and all that to. Larry Williams says he thinks it's going to go up and peak into March the first time. So, you know, now's the time to buy all dips on all of those things. You can probably slow your roll on chips on the semiconductors because they probably won't rotate in until after Tesla and Bitcoin have had their peak. But then you'll see all the semis come back. But I think some AI plays should do well alongside Tesla and Bitcoin. Anyway, that's just what Larry Williams is saying. That's what I'm saying. And Danny's got. Here's my chart. Sorry.
Yeah.
And Danny's watching he's still got yellow daily candles for semiconductors right now. So he's watching for the screw to turn on that one.
Yeah, but the way the SMH looks, though, it doesn't look like it's going to be too bad. So it's still holding its support and it's still building a base. So yeah, it could take some time for them to break out, but I think a lot of the pain is already factored into it.
Yeah. Man, where's my Tesla chart?
Well, I see one right in front of you.
I know. There was this one I did yesterday, though. Let me just see. It says it's this layout. Last night I was posting all these little blue callouts and stuff. It's not on here, my chart. Maybe because it has to go to NVIDIA and then back to Tesla to reload it. Nope, it's not here. Anyway, no, here it is. It loaded. Great. So this was the earnings call last night, right? I just like I said. Just like I told you guys, I expected shenanigans into that 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time closing candle. And look at what we got. We got this crazy wick down to 365 even. And then, that was going to be the fake out to take out as many stop losses as possible. And then, boom, it runs right back up when the actual report comes out. And then it starts to taper as we wait for the earnings call to start. And right here, Optimus would be worth $10 trillion. And then I realized the quote was a little bit wrong. He said Optimus, he was running the numbers, and he thinks that Optimus will be worth $10 trillion in revenue annually in the future. Annually, 10 trillion annually. So that took the price up like this. And then as soon as he announced that full self-driving, they will start robotaxi in Austin in June, it did this candle. And then he started talking about energy. And so energy storage will double our energy grid. And we need a big improvement to our energy grid to really improve manufacturing industry in the United States. And it kind of went up like this, and then he talked about if you don't have full self-driving, if you're a car manufacturer and you don't have full self-driving, you're dead, he said. And then after that was kind of the peak of it. And then the earnings call ended somewhere around here. And then, after that, this is what we got in the pre-market, a little touchdown to the 15-minute moving average 75 as the support. And we're back up over 400. We're at 405.36 now. And like I was telling people who follow me, I just want to see, where's my 50% line? I just want to see price get, if it could close somewhere at or near 421.52 on Friday, that'd be fantastic. That would take us right back to this halfway level between 470 and 373, the high and the low down here. Really should be 488. I don't know why it says 470. Anyway, that's it. I'd like to see it over 421.52, and you can see there's a bunch of sell block orders waiting to catch it. But yeah. Now, as far as max pain goes, if the market has its way, it will try to keep price under 400. I think this morning I checked, it was $395 in max pain for Tesla. So they'll try to keep it just suppressed until the end of the week, and then they could let the Eagles fly in next week, which is the beginning of the next month as well. Right? This is the end of the week and the end of the month this Friday.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Yep.
Very, very good. All right. Yeah, I just wanted to show my chart real quick for Tesla. So I had that trend-based fib extension, and 390 was the target to watch the whole time. And sure enough, it did hold. And after hours, I did snag up more TSLL, I think, at the equivalent of the low 370s, and that was great. So I see somebody said they went my 372 retest. Well, I had it last night or last evening. Just had to be nimble and quick to grab it, and that was great, right? So I think based off that, as long as 390 holds now, I think it's just going to continue higher. So that was basically the line in the sand for me, because otherwise there was a lot of other support underneath that 390 to go grab if it did choose to do so. And so, yeah, 390, that's the only thing that matters now to me. Stay above that, and I think it will make its way back towards the 2021 all-time high and beyond.
Very cool. Yeah, I'm still looking for my target, $711. I think originally I said 710.33, and now I'm saying 711.66. I bumped something somewhere along the way, but that zone by July 18th is what I'm hoping for. Let's see. Is there anything else you want to do specifically, or should we just take on requests? Because I see a bunch of requests.
Yeah, I wanted to check out Microstrategy a little bit, since we did talk about Bitcoin.
Yes.
So the level for Microstrategy that I'm really watching is this 1.414, the 340. And earlier I said it's one of the few stocks that actually went to the log scale 1.618 already. Even Palantir hasn't gone that high, right? Palantir only got to the log scale 1.272. Right down here. So Palantir, if it gets to the same, it's going to go to the 150s. So this is why it had a big cool off, because it already did a massive fib extension level, and now it's just trying to build a base there to retest the highs once again. So I care about holding this 340. I care about eventually trying to get back above this 45-degree angle as well. Pre-market it is almost there, right? That level is maybe around 350 or so. Just try to keep building a base on top and go higher, but not sure it really needs to go any lower than this blue level because that 300 was a perfect back test. The gap never got filled. Sometimes gaps don't get filled. So just going to be paying attention to 340. And if that zone holds, then don't need to think about lower.
Indeed. Let's see. Do you track Alchemist AI?
Well, yeah,
cryptos.
I can do that one.
No, you don't have to.
No, no, no.
You could tell them it's a subscriber.
Well, it's not a subscriber. It's just the chart's really young. It's just.
Oh, okay.
It's just wait, this one? No, that's Alchemy Pay. Alchemist. Yeah, ticker ALCH. Yeah, ticker symbols would be better. But yeah, it's just really young, so not much to really do with this one, except there's the 50-day moving average. It's underneath it. Go to the 4-hour chart. It's underneath all the indicators as well. So essentially, yeah, it's just too young to chart. So I think if you want to buy it, I mean, it has potential because it's building a floor right here. But if that floor is lost, it has really a lot more to go. So can't really do too much with this one because there's not enough data. So. But yeah, let's continue on with the. Oh, there's a lunar request. Lunar. You want to do?
Yeah, I got a lunar chart here. All right, so my intuitive machines, lunar hasn't really changed. I see it in the 5th wave now. It started way back here with this low of $3.10 to actually no, I'm sorry, it goes back even farther. Started at $2.09, and then 14.73 was the high, and then back to a support level of 310. And then my wave, now it's in wave 3, sub 1, sub 2 are done. Sub 3, sub 4 look like they're done. Unless I'm wrong. No, looks pretty good. So it should be in the 5th wave now. I'm looking for 33.21 next to complete an extension to the 2382. I know it's kind of hard to see it. I've got this retrace in here because I was trying to figure out where it might go after on the way back. Looks like I'm predicting after 33.21, it might come back to test this low 20s zone around 22-ish, 23-ish. And then that whole thing becomes a larger degree wave 1, wave 2, and it can keep going. Is this a giant retracement? Is so this one is just the 618 of its all-time high is 84.85. So that was kind of insanity there, but look, there's a chance. Is that the Ichimoku baseline? No, that's just what is that line? Anyway, don't worry about it. This whole thing is in itself a chance of retracement. Just the A wave alone gets to 53.24, and we're way down here at 20.87. So yeah, I like lunar for lots of potential growth from here for your portfolio. There you go. What did I say? 20. No, don't do that. 33.21 is where I'm looking for the wave 5 to stop. And then what else do we have?
I have a grab.
INTC.
I have a grab chart really ready to go.
Yeah,
go ahead. Get your Intel chart ready. Yeah, so grab, it went, got up, rejected by the 200-week moving average, and then it came back down to this arc and the baseline here, which was a perfect bounce off support. And now it's going back to resistance. So support down here, I liked it, 435. Now that it's getting closer to $5, getting more cautious because this 200 is really, really kind of steep. It's downward sloping, kind of steep. So I'm not sure if it's really ready to break free of that anytime soon. So just going to be cautious, closer to $5 until it can prove it can break. But so far, that's our resistance zone up top. So yeah, low 4s looks good. Mid 430s look good, but upper 4s look a little bit like resistance. So tracker, INTC.
Yeah, that almost looks like it wants to go sideways into the cloud. And then when the GAN vertical line shows up, that's when it could start to move again really
Yeah, so
hard.
it could take maybe
I
until
guess.
like March or April or so before it wants to go higher. We'll see.
Mhm. Right. Yeah, I got Intel Corporation, INTC, on my screen here, and I guess let's look at the weekly chart on this. They really had a fall. I didn't like Intel for a bit there, and now you can see why. So it found a bottom. Um, it definitely seems to have found a bottom, but now it's got to build a base on this bottom, and it's not gonna. It had a nice looking move up at the end of the last year, um, but then fell back over. And it could still build up and then fall over. In fact, you could probably see a long consolidation triangle like this for a while. Um, so yeah, I would still, you can add some now, but just know that whatever you add in Intel, it's probably going to be almost feels like dead money for a while until it starts to take off again. So if you're a momentum trader, you might want to wait until the momentum starts up again. You can see there's no whale buying down here on the weekly chart. It's all just retail and people trading the range down here. So, but over time, could Intel come back? It is an American chip manufacturer, and they're trying to bring back American uh, industry. So, you know, maybe if they start building the chips here instead of in Taiwan. Anyway, that's it. Intel's probably not going to do a lot for a while. It's probably going to go sideways for a while too.
Yeah, I do have a chart I want to share for Intel, and yeah, this is not a bullish chart, but if you're gonna play
Mhm.
this, it is at a very important GAN level and the arc here. So yeah, I mean, like $19, that has really good potential of holding, but even if you hold it, it's not guaranteed to go higher. But if you're buying Intel, you're buying it because of a takeover target, right? You're buying it because of a gamble. You're not buying it because you want to make money, because you're not going to make any money. Like, sure, it's going to go from 19 maybe up to like 25. Like, I mean, other stocks do that in a week. So if this is something that you really wanted, this could be just considered a takeover target. But I don't think this is going to be profitable in the future, right? If it does hold, even if it does hold this level, I just see it kind of stuck here for like many months before it really wants to try to break the cloud, if it does at all. Unless there's a takeover target, then it has a chance, right? It has a chance, but I think that's the only reason. And you can see even this previous support right here was broken, and it was flipped to a resistance right here. So it's gonna be a challenge, but you could take a stab at it at the low 19s. You could if you wanted to, but guess what? That's the same level that it was back in 1997. So that's
Yep.
been basically dead money.
Yep.
Yeah.
Poor Intel.
Right.
I've got Starbucks for Shane Chung here.
Yeah.
Um, this is these are weekly candlesticks for Starbucks, so you can see all the way back here from 2021. It's been in this consolidation triangle, and now it's either a fake out or a breakout. It's hard to tell. It likes to telegraph a resistance trend with these 2 points and a support trend down here with these 2 points. And look, it's breaking out. So I'd say, let me get closer. If so, Kat would probably say that the Bollinger Band here is probably getting a little bit hot. Yeah, it's over the Bollinger Band, so it's probably gonna have to cool off for a little bit, which could make it lose momentum. I would expect to see. Why isn't my big? Okay, I would expect to see it come back to test the top of the previous the resistance trend line. If I go back to the weekly chart so you can see it and turn off the Bollinger Band. So right here where it's breaking out, expect it to kind of hit this resistance, come back, test the top of this level again at 104.40 or so. Yeah, about 104, mid 104s. And then if it can make this support, then it can take off and like really go. So for now, I guess look for it to turn into some kind of bull flag, maybe a potential bull flag that looks like kind of like this on top of the triangle. Now, if I'm wrong, it just keeps running up higher. If it can make a new higher high than 115.48, then it can just away it can go. And I was tracking it for 764,382. Looks like what we got was something like more than 618, and then the 382 right there. So yeah, this could be the wave 3 sub 1 sub 2 done. And then my wave 3 top is up here at 135.13. So I'm just not sure if you want to chase this candle. You could wait and see if you can buy some more back down here. If you're holding it, just keep holding it. And then if it breaks above this previous high, 115.48, then you can just go ahead and buy more because that'll probably turn that into support. And there's Starbucks. And then this whole thing ends up to 181.66 in the future.
Yeah.
I guess we're going to have Starbucks in the future.
Starbucks is
served to us by Optimus
they're
Robots.
not going away. Yeah,
They're not going away.
I stopped being bearish on Starbucks back in August, and it was during this bullish engulfing candle right here, this big 21% weekly candle or monthly candle. This is a monthly chart. I was cautious here, even though I was holding this GAN level here for 4 months in a row. I was cautious because it couldn't get back above that 100, but it did, right? And once it did that, I'm like, okay, that's fine now. It recovered. It reclaimed the cloud. It reclaimed everything. So, and then it just spent over 4 months cooling off and retested the bottom of the cloud, and then it took off. So I think this is like more of the real deal because the cloud kind of wants to be support. And the 50-month moving average is around 97.90. So I think that is really your really high time frame support if it does ever get below that 104. And this has potential to go higher, but still, it is a series of lower highs, lower high, lower highs. So ideally, I would like to see it above 115 in the near future to get more bullish. But until then, that 115 is going to be resistance, and your support is going to be in the low 100s down to the high 90s. So this is looking better and better, but it doesn't look like it's ready to break out yet until it makes a higher high.
Very nice. Hey, MOS, comma Neptune Digital, is that the same thing? Is that a crypto MOS?
MOS.
Or do they want Mosaic?
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's on my list, so I think it could be Mosaic. Okay. Yeah, I think
I've got Mosaic on the screen.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and do that one.
I don't have a chart built for it, but I mean, you can tell these are weekly candlesticks, and you know, it looks like it made a bottom here, and it is trying to make a recovery back to its previous all-time high. So I can just do a quick retrace from the bottom here. I'll just do it by hand to up here. And let's see what we can see. It got almost to the 50% level and then back to the 11.4. So that's actually a really nice tight ABC. Like it's really bullish, right? If it could get to the 50 and back to 1140, then it's probably going to go to 886. And you can see one of the last ranges that it tested before it dropped was around this 886 level, 144.75. So yeah, I think this could be good. I don't know anything about this company, but I like the way this long-term chart looks. So as far as institutional bankers and whales go, though, they're not really there yet. It's still mostly retail trading this level. Though they were really hot on it back here in 2022 into 2023. So I don't know. Just see if the bankers and whales come back. You could, yeah, it's up to you. You could buy a little bit and then see what happens. But I wouldn't go whole hog on this one yet.
All right, let me do some let me do some Ethereum if you wanna get Neptune Digital ready or something. Let's see Ethereum here. Yeah, there's no change, right? It's getting back above the 1.272 fib extension that I've mentioned previously, and that's really the number I'm watching the most. And that is coinciding with the conversion line on the weekly chart. So nothing is really scary about this chart. It's just slow. It's just slow. And this kind of makes me believe that things are going to take a little bit longer in crypto and for a lot of the other stocks as well. And this bull market could be longer than most people expect, simply because this is not a bearish chart for Ethereum, right? And on the weekly chart here, we can see that it's still holding the 50-week moving average, and the 3110 baseline down there too. So I just think it's going to be more time, and then eventually, once it's done building in space on top of this $3,000 level, it's going to go to 46, 46.49, and then above. So I think it's just lagging behind. It's not a leader like those dinosaur coins of XRP. So this is just taking some time.
Very cool. And I do have Neptune Digital Assets Corporation. It's an over-the-counter penny stock, but let me just show you something. I mean, normally I wouldn't like do one of these, but um, looking back here, it's made a new all-time high. It had a previous all-time high back here, and if you just look at the weekly Ichimoku cloud and look back at the history back here, I'm looking at this important level right there. Um, it could. I would want to see this. Like, I wouldn't chase this at any higher. I think I want to see it do a retrace back down and find support here, and it might not happen until July if it touches the cloud right there. So yeah, this one, it's almost like back in my days of day trading. This is one I would almost start to think about shorting if I could see it fall back. At least below $1.50. I think I'd start shorting it. Anyway, that's all there is to say about that one. It's a penny stock. It's going to be kind of crazy. CLDI. Oh, I'm supposed to release a Kalidi Biotherapeutics is a pet project of mine, and I did an interview with their CFO earlier this week. I'm going to release it today, along with their slide deck. The stock does not show it. This is the stock. If on any other stock, I would tell you, if the chart looks like this, I wouldn't bother with this. It looks really bad. It's just nothing but a lifetime downtrend. That being said, I do like the products that they've got going. So maybe just the market doesn't know about. They do these cancer treatments using oncolytic viruses that target the cancer, and they deliver them inside of a donor fat cell. They take fat stem cells from other human donors. You get them from liposuction, all kinds of stuff like that, and you put the virus inside the fat cell, and then you inject it into the person with the tumor, and you can inject it right into the tumor. And the cool thing is having the stem cell on the outside protecting the viruses on the inside prevents rejection by the host immune system. And then also the viruses can then replicate inside the fat stem cell, break out, and then infect the tumor. It's a really very efficient delivery system. It's pretty groundbreaking. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm going on about my pet project here, but I'll release that slide deck and interview later today. Kalidi Biotherapeutics, just an ABC retrace to this previous candle wick up here, not the all-time high even, just to 1670. So I'm looking for 676, 441, and then 1056. So just to get to the A wave top, that's like an 880% return. So this is worth. It's so cheap right now. It's so cheap. Don't put thousands of dollars in it, but you could put a couple $100 in it, and you'd still come out really well. Kalidi, but depending on what the size of your portfolio is. That's it. That's all I got to say about Kalidi.
Yeah, I got
my pet project.
I got UPS on deck, and what a terrible thing that's happening. Yeah. But it's not a surprise. And why is it not a surprise? Well, it was a massive rejection at this blue level, and it was in a downtrend. This has been in a bear market since 2022, and nothing has changed, right? It got rejected off the 50-week moving average, and it did try to hold the arc and the angle here, but guess what? It's still in a very powerful bear market. So now it's no surprise why it broke through support levels. It broke through the 618 down here. And I think the target personally is probably going to be the 786, right? I think that's 102 is going to be the target. And if that doesn't hold, then back to the orange level of the GAN where it was once a support. So this, I don't think it's slowing down right here just yet. I think at least 102, maybe at most 90. So that is looking like the new range since it is at 113 pre-market. But yeah, this is not a surprise. This is why I don't like bearish charts, right? Because if it's lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, this is a downtrend, and this is something that I never like to dollar cost average in until the trend reverses, and this trend never did reverse. So this was always a scary chart.
Oh man, you don't think does? I don't think I've seen many of your charts where it goes to an upper arc and then comes as low as the previous
Oh,
horizontal
that it
line.
happens all the time in crypto. Yeah, all the time.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
I've got Oscar Health for
Okay.
Shlomi Shabika here. I hope I got your name right. I'm so sorry if I didn't. These are weekly candlesticks for Oscar Health, OSCR. I have a chart for it from a previous request, probably from Shlomi. I see this as just having completed a larger degree wave 1, wave 2, and it came right back to the moving average 75 and found it as support. I mean, that's a weekly moving average 75, and it's back into the green part of the Ichimoku cloud. My fibs project 764382 would take it to 2974 and then back to 2143. Now, I could be wrong. It could be a 618236 kind of thing. But so far, the sell order blocks are a little higher. So let's see if it can't get to 2952 next. So I'll just pull the chart over like this, and you can take a screenshot. The whales like it. The whales are kind of coming back in here. Retail is still a little high at 13%, but it's borderline closing into bullish investor territory, bullish institutional territory. So all my prices are on the right side here, next to the fib percentages. Those are fib extensions off of the previous wave start to the wave 1, back to the wave 2. So yeah, 2974 next, back to 2143, up to 4374, et cetera, et cetera. All right, and back to you, Matt.
Yeah, I think that'll be it. I'll do one more. I'm gonna do Doge.
Nice.
And what I'm really watching for Doge. Oh, I gotta switch my screen.
Oh yeah, guess which means. I was just saying.
Yeah. What I'm watching for Doge is the fibs here, and the most important thing is kind of holding levels. And the 3298.3298. That's the 702, right? I want to see that held, especially it already back tested the 618, and so far it is maintaining that, even though it is wicking below quite often. It's still closing weekly candles above it the majority of the time. So this has potential to go past this 786, right? This 786 is a really, really, really big resistance level. And not just because it's from the all-time high to the all-time low. I think I've shown this before. But it's also a log-based full extension from back here, right? We can see that level, that 41 cent. It's a log right here, 41.85. It's a log-based full extension. So this is why it's taking time to break that 41 cent zone. It's not just the previous 786. It's also the full extension from the previous cycle on log scale, which is pretty impressive for any coin to do a full extension on log scale, because that is very exponential. And that's all. It's just got to get above, let's just say, round up to 42 cents. So once it starts closing weekly candles above 42 cents, then I think it's going to $1, right? But until then, it might spend a lot more time underneath this 41 cents. So this is why I'm more bullish on XRP than I am Doge, because it's stuck under a major level. Major level. All right, one more tracker before we go, or
no. I think that's it. I don't want to cut your time. Let's end on you today. You did great.
Yeah.
All right, thanks so much, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Right?
Yeah, tomorrow Friday, end of the month, end of the week, Friday. End of everything. Yeah.
Yep, and then I'll be looking forward to your end of the week, end of the month Tesla and Palantir.
Oh yes, it'll be fantastic.
Later in the evening tomorrow. Don't miss those guys. You got to follow Mattsby on everything. He just puts out so much content. It's just awesome. And if you can't get enough of Mattsby, then sign up for his Patreon. He's got. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Yeah,
it is
it's
Patreon.
Patreon.
Yeah, your fantastic Patreon subscription. So go to his page for that.
Yeah,
All right.
thank you guys.
Well, have a great day,
Thank you.
Matt.
All
Thanks so
right,
much.
bye bye.